Good evening, you beautiful people. We are on the eve of Manchester City's 25-26 Premier League campaign. We kick off tomorrow at 5:30 away at Molineux against Wolves, and I'm so excited. Manchester City are properly actually back. I know we played the Club World Cup and so we've had a friendly, but this is City being back. This is the start of the new season. Absolutely, unquestionably, regardless of how you view the Club World Cup, it's all been building towards this moment, and I'm very excited to see City in action tomorrow night. My watch long will be on YouTube here about 5 o'clock. I'm very excited for it, so I'll see you then for that. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if you've caught the match preview and so on. The season preview yesterday. Let me know what you make of the Rico Lewis breaking news there. Fabrizio Romano's confirmed that Forest are currently negotiating with Manchester City. Very fascinating stuff. This is all legit. It's definitely going to happen, I reckon, at this point. The squad is changing exponentially. And let me know what you think about this game coming up. It's weird talking about the season this early because I think there's very little to gain. We do have to wait a few games before narrative forms, but we will try and talk about it anyway as best we can. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel, what are you waiting for? Is that subscribe button? Have you pressed it? If not, why not? Support me. I whipped out a classic kit for this one. Look at that. I found it in my wardrobe. It's so nice, man. Subscribe, give the video a like, and help support a lifelong Manchester City fan. One who's trying to be, represent us as best I can and be a decent City fan, Now you have. Well, there we go. Thank you, 9320 citizens. So let's start with the overview of this game. Not much to say other than that this is the first game of the season. City coming off the back of a very underwhelming previous campaign, very disappointing exit at the Club World Cup 2, a whole bunch of players allegedly needing to move on according to most of the fan base. That's not happened, and some very likeable players are about to move on, and maybe some very liked players are about to come in as well. A lot of change, so we are still a hell of a leap away from the final form of Manchester City for the 25-26 season. So this is very much work in progress. We've only played one pre-season game, Palermo game, since the Club World Cup back in the start of July, so we're still very rusty. I'm expecting this to be a really weird game. There's very little I think that we're going to be able to gather solidly from this game of football. But all I know is that we need to win it. We absolutely do, because we have to. I think we have to come out the blocks flying, and we have to impress. I think there are going to be changes. The form will shift and it'll alter depending on so many factors. Like, there's so much that's going to happen. Like, I've got no doubt that City by the end of September will be totally different to the City that started the season. And that's only a month and a half away, just because of signings and so on, and fitness and form of Guardiola and the coaching team implementing their ideas. But still, this game is the first game of the season. The eyes will be on Manchester City after last year. The vultures will be circling, and any signs of blood, any sniff of it, and the sharks will be out, hunting for me. And Manchester City are there's a lot of expectation on them, rightfully so. And I know we play Preston behind closed doors, by the way, but it doesn't really feel real, does it, if it's not like in front of fans? I know that sounds mad. It feels like a training game. Maybe I'm wrong there, but technically you're right. But it doesn't feel like a game, because they always play games, against someone. But anyway, it's a big game. It's an absolute big game, because we have to come out strong, because people and ourselves, they'll get on ourselves. We'll start to. We need to basically have a lot of belief early on, because ultimately there's a lot of expectation on a lot of these players, because they are new. Debutants potentially everywhere. I know Reijnders and Sotoko have already played, but in terms of official first debut in the Premier League, technically the Club World Cup counts, actually, so they've already made the debuts. But the Premier League debuts could happen for Trafford, could happen for Cherki, Ait-Nouri, Reijnders. I expect it'll happen for all of them, actually, for varying reasons. So I'm expecting to see that. It's all going to be very, very exciting. And a Wolves side, of course, which I'll get onto later in more detail, but a Wolves side that have had a very indifferent summer. So we'll see. So let's go to Guardiola's quotes from the press conference, where it is Pep's wonderful quotes. He said, "We are ready." I'll get onto the team news bit in a minute. He talked about Greedy. He said, "We wish him all the best at the traditional club that is Everton. Hopefully he can play. Yep, fine. He said, "The signals are we will be better than last season, but maybe we can be worse. Who ever knows?" Indeed, you never know, but I do think we'll be better. I think the form that we showed towards the end of last season from January onwards was more like Manchester City, where we had the best form in the league from the 1st of January onwards. Those winter months we weren't perfect, but we were much better, and they were thrown in the trash, so to speak. And I expect City will be much better, because we've learned our lessons. and I think a lot of humility has stricken across the squad. And Guardiola, picked Bernardo as his right-hand man. Bernardo's words have been powerful, I would argue, actually. Haaland has been quite bullish as well. I think the leadership team have got a lot to prove, and I think they're going to see a very different Manchester City because they're playing for pride and self-respect now as well. He was asked whether we need to sell more players. He said we should, but it's difficult because I love all of them. I like all of them, and they like to be here, and the situation is not easy, but they know it. And tomorrow there'll be 2 players in the stands, and if the players come back, there'll be 4 or 5 at home. It's not an ideal situation, but at the same time, we have a lot of games. Every season it's more and more, and you have to have enough of a squad to compete every game. One's going to go at least, maybe 2 now, with Rico. But I think we need to sell 1 homegrown player. He said, I don't know about how many need to leave. At the end, with 3 weeks to go, and the market in Saudi Arabia is a little bit longer. So essentially he's going, Saudi money, come in, man. Just spread your big bucks our way and see what we can do. He was asked about Savinho's future. But I don't know. If Tottenham or any club wants a player, you should call the club right. And it's the same like we do. The only thing I'm concerned about today is that Savinho will be with us until the end of the season, and hopefully for many, many years. Because at 21 years old, he potentially has playing a lot of minutes. He has to improve his final decisions. He's an extraordinary player. But the end, as always, decides if the player prevails about everything. There has to be an agreement with the club. If there's an agreement, the player will be here. That's Guardiola doing exactly what he said about Alvarez. That's almost verbatim. Especially, you made a point with Alvarez by saying he's played a lot of minutes. That's him saying, that to me is Guardiola frustrated, because I reckon one of the reasons that Savinho's camp is using is that they're not guaranteed minutes and blah blah blah, and Guardiola is saying very pointedly, in my opinion, you got loads of minutes last season, which he did. At Manchester City at his age, he had plenty of football. So I think Guardiola is I don't think he's happy about it, actually, for what it's worth. He doesn't sound happy about it. I'm putting my interpretation, I could be wrong, but to me that sounds a little bit spicy. Polite and respectful, but a little bit, guys had a lot of minutes and he's got to improve. Like he said, he's had loads of minutes, but he has to improve in final decisions. So he's saying, you're not perfect, mate. You're still potential. You're a great player, but you're still potential and you still had lots of minutes. I think his way of saying, don't get ideas above your station, mate. You played as much as you did because of how good you are, but he's going. I think he'd be mad at this point to expect it. He said if they want to leave, they will come to me. I'm working with them because I'm here. If they want to leave, they will knock on my door. Yeah, we'll see. There's a bit of a miscommunication here from the City extra quote. He said Savinho's injured. Sorry, I don't remember. He's injured from Palermo. Fuchs will be out. And it said, and Ederson apparently, yeah. No, the question there was actually that's a misquote. Apparently they said, will he travel with the squad, and he said apparently yes. So it's not, is he injured? So Ederson apparently will travel with the squad, but that could change. It sounds to me like Guardiola's spoken to Hugo Viana or someone like that, and they've gone, yeah, as it currently stands, yes, but unless anything changes. So I think Savinho is injured. He said, sorry, I didn't remember. As if he forgot. Come on, nonsense, mate. Guardiola apparently forgot that Eddie was injured. Savinho's injured, sorry. Nonsense. I don't believe that for a second. We all know he's absolutely fine. We all know he's going to Spurs. At that point, there's no point pretending otherwise. He was asked about McAtee. Said, I would love to have Maka with me, but it's the same. We have too many players. He wants more minutes. He believes that if he goes to another place, he will have it. I understand completely. Maka has the potential with City, yes and yes. But sometimes he wants more minutes, and it's fair enough. We cannot give it, and he wants another space. James McAtee, yeah, I love him. And I'll do another video about him when it's confirmed. I hope he does really well there. On Rodri, he's so soon to coming back, but what is important is his knee is perfect. Now he needs to bring minutes in training sessions, and if possible in the games. What we want is he doesn't come back and takes a step back. That would not be good. Rodri's been training, actually, and Guardiola, essentially saying that I think he's going to be involved potentially in the squad in the next couple of games. I just think he's going to have very slow level of progression, and we'll ease him in over time, and I'm absolutely fine with that. In terms of the actual team news, let's get on to that. Where's my categories? I'm a bit rusty with this. There we go. At the bottom, let's go down to the team news. Guardiola has confirmed. He's confirmed that Josko Vardiol and Mateo Kovacic are ruled out for Wolves versus Man City. Rodri and Phil Foden will travel. There we go. It's proven. Rodri and Phil Foden are back. No Josko Vardiol, no Mateo Kovacic. Anyone else ruled out? I think everyone else is available other than that, isn't it? So you've got all you guys, all you guys there other than Josko Vardiol, which is a big shame, and Mateo Kovacic. So let's get on to the predicted 11 and work out what we're going to do. I think your man James Trafford is starting in goal. I know Ederson's starting, given the cloud hanging over him right now. I'd be amazed if he did. I think James Trafford's getting the number 1 shirt here for now, with literally and metaphorically. I think he's taking that spot for this game because I think I'm going to have to. I might be wrong there. You might play Ederson. Ederson's not injured, no. The question was misquoted there. The question was, is he going to travel? He said, apparently, yeah. So I think Ederson will travel, but I think Trafford's going to be in goal. I might be wrong, but I think he will be. I think Ait-Nouri is clearly going to start a left back on the return. I think Núñez will start on the return with Rico Lewis rumours. Those two are given. The former Wolves players are playing at full back against Wolves there at Molineux. And then you get to centre-back. We know Oscar Vardial. You've got your options on Nathan Ake. Their options are John Stones, Ruben Diaz and Akanji. I would love to see what we saw the other day was Kusanov and John Stones. I really like that. The maturity, the elegance, the composure, the footballing ability, the experience, the leadership. How many wonderful words can I say about John Stones? The sartorial elegance. They're so classy on the ball to watch. And the thing is about Stones is, like, you forget just how good he is, and then you watch him play 45 minutes in a Man City shirt, and he just drags you back in because he's beautiful, and you think, oh my God, he's really good. Like, his decision making is phenomenal. He's still absolutely brilliant when he can play. But I don't think it'll be that. I think it'll be this. I think it'll be Ruben Diaz and probably Stones. I think it'll be Diaz and Stones. I think Diaz will get the nod. We could see Ake or Akanji, but I think Stones will actually get a nod on this one. I think Guardiola will play him. But I might be wrong here, but we'll see. I think you're all going to hate this, but I think it's going to be Bernardo alongside... Hard this. I'm going to go out wide on. I'm going to put Haaland in. I do think Bob's going to get a start, you know. I think your man Oscar Bob's going to get a start. I don't think Phil Foden will play this game start. I think Oscar Bob looks really sharp against Palermo. Reijnders is definitely going to start. Will Cherki get the nod? I think he's going to. And I'm going to go for Doku. You don't have to like it. I know Marmoush fans will get annoyed at me, but I think he's going to lean on that... Cherki plays right wing, maybe. I don't know if that's too attacking for him. I think there's potential for him to do this, and you might not like it, you know. And Nico G and then Cherki, Cherki potentially right wing. Nico sort of these guys here. Nico G, Cherki out there, and Núñez overlapping a little bit. Ait-Nouri, Doku tucking in a little bit. I think we might see something like this. I think Guardiola will probably be more cautious away from home. I don't see him going for Cherki as inverted, you know, as a number 10 classically, with then attacking wide players too. Guardiola likes the 2-3 shape or the 3-2 shape. The 2 being the 2 centre backs, Diaz, Stones. The 3 shape being these guys here, and that's what was the solution to our problems last season where we covered it. You can also have a situation where you've got the 3 centre backs and 2 midfielders, you know, they split or whatever. But ultimately, there's a box of 5, and I think away from home at Wolves, he's going to probably be a bit more cautious at the start of the season. So Nico Gonzalez, there was a lot of narrative around Nico Gonzalez last season, and it mainly came down to people, you know, not trusting him. There was loads of, you know, talk that during the what's it called? Open training session, Guardiola was working really intensely with Nico Gonzalez, and there was a quote that someone sent to me about how Guardiola said the holding midfielder is the driver of the car, and it have to hold position. If suddenly you're the driver of the car and you're in the back seat, the car ain't going to go the right way. And the point he was making there is that, you know, the positional stuff is everything for a number 6, and I think it's not a ball playing ability. I think he just hasn't quite got the rhythm. As I was saying in the preseason, the season preview, Whiplash quote, just not quite my tempo. I think Nico's nearly there, but Guardiola's like, just not quite there. And I think he did look good versus Palermo, you know. I think Guardiola rates his physicality. I think he rates his on-ball ability, but I think he hasn't quite got the movement yet. And I also think, if I'm being honest with you, I don't think his fitness was up to scratch as well. I think he dipped an awful lot in the second half of games. Did anyone else notice that? I thought Nico lost his composure a little bit in the second half of games. And also, when you're tired, you make worse decision-making. You come to the ball a little bit, you get dragged in, all that kind of stuff. So I think Nico... essentially, it's just a fitness and a routine thing. I think Guardiola likes him, and I think he'll play a bit more than we realise. So I think he'll play away from home. I think Bernardo will be the experience alongside him. I think Diaz and Stones will be... Maybe it could be Akanji. I don't know. Now I'm seeing this back. I could see maybe Kusanov will get a start. I don't know. Akanji might get a start a go as well. But yeah, Rodri did go through the same issues. Rodri was a slightly higher level. He's much higher level, actually, at the start than Nico. But Rodri did go through the same issues as well. So I think we could see something like this where Cherki tucks inside a little bit. It could also be Foden gets a start there. But I think it is going to be Doku. I think Doku and Ait-Nouri had a really promising relationship against in the Club World Cup. And I think Guardiola will lean on it again. It could be Marmoush. I mean, alternatives. You want to see an alternative here. You could be Marmoush tucking inside. It could be that we play. Nunes could play, but he could play a little bit deeper and sort of hold one side where you've got, you could still have Foden. I'll put Cherki down here. I think I can't imagine. Nunes, you could have Foden on that side. Cherki could be more central, and Nunes could sort of tuck in a little bit and not overlap, to help the midfield a little bit or something like that. So you've got that shape. I don't know. We will see. I'll go to now the opposition preview. I've got Dave from Always Wolves Fan TV with his thoughts on the head of the season. It's about 3 minutes long. I'll go to his thoughts, and you can have a watch from the Wolves perspective before we talk about Wolves. Here we go to Dave.
Hey Steve, thanks for asking me on your channel to give my thoughts ahead of the Wolves versus Man City game. It was really great spending some time with you in London the other week. And looking forward to the start of the Premier League season. Looking forward to the season opener against Manchester City. But looking forward to it with a little bit of apprehension. We haven't been great in pre-season. We haven't won a game, actually. We've lost a lot of creativity in Matheus Cunha, Reijnders, who basically contributed 60% of our goals. Our captain Semedo's gone, Sarabia's gone, others have gone. We have bought players in, of course. The main one being John Arias from Fluminense, who's in the, I think, might have played against you in the Club World Cup and was in the team of the tournament. But we've got a couple of other players that have got to come in, and it's a big adjustment to the Premier League. And I worry about us in terms of our wing-backs, in terms of we haven't created a lot during pre-season. But this is the Premier League, and, it all starts for proper against Manchester City. One thing I will say, that Wolves will be making a very, very special tribute to our former player, Diogo Jota and Andre, and I'm sure that the Manchester City fans will respect that. Look out for the first ever tifo that we've ever had at Molineux, and the playing of Diogo Jota's favourite song, Fields of Gold. And just ask the Manchester City fans if they would get into their seats a little bit earlier than they would normally do, for paying the respects to Diogo Jota, and I'm sure all the City fans will do that. I'm sure you guys will have another fantastic season, and you'll be all about whether you can win the title, win trophies, how you're going to do in Europe. For Wolves, 16th last season. If we can bring in 2 or 3 more quality replacements, I think we could do all right. We need to improve our league position from last season. It'd be really great if we could push up the top end of the table and even try and get into Europe. It's our 150th anniversary next season, so that would be amazing. We've got absolutely no chance at the weekend, so I'm predicting a 1-1 draw, because that's just so Wolves. Again, we've got everyone doesn't think we're going to do anything. We tend to. We've had a few good results against City over the years. The opening fixture, the crowd are going to be up for it. It's going to be a lovely, lovely day. It's a global audience across the world with the 5:30 kickoff. And I just hope we can get. We have lost each of our last 4 opening day fixtures from the last 4 seasons. And Manchester City, I think, have won all of their last, or are unbeaten in their last 8 August fixtures. So let's hope we get off to a good start. But check us out on Always Wolves Fan TV. We will be doing reactions after the game after that, doing a bit of a match blog. So we'd love to see some City fans over there. And we do wish you all the best for the season. Thanks for asking us on, Steve. All the best, mate.
My pleasure, my friend. There'll be a link. I forgot to put it. I'll do it as I'm doing this right now. There'll be a link in the chat to Always Wolves Fan TV. 1 second. Sorry, Dave. I forgot to do it, mate. Billion things going for Dave, top bloke. I did a shoot with him for William Hill, which I linked on my Instagram story. Go and watch it. Search William Hill's YouTube channel. And you'll see me on they're doing a sort of a really fun bunch of challenges and all that kind of stuff. Subscribe. I'm going to put a link right now in the chat, in the pinned comment. Always Wolves. There we go. I put it in the comment for you. There we go. If you want to go check out his channel. But yeah, Wolves, look, as you were saying, man, let me find... I found this little... here's what... There's some stats about him there from the preview yesterday. Thank you to Dave once again. Yeah, as you were saying, they've lost Matheus Cunha. They've lost Ait-Nouri, who were responsible for not just a lot of their goals, genuinely. They're also responsible for most of their aggressive duels. They won the ball back an awful lot in the Premier League last season. They've lost Gonçalo Guedes as well, Nelson Semedo, Sarabia. They lost an awful lot of quality. They brought in Val Lopez, John Arias, and David Wolf, but relatively unproven players. We're going to have to see how they go. And last season, they struggled an awful lot. To be fair, Vitor Pereira did sort of steady the ship last season. When he came in, he made him very average, as it says there, finishing 10th in points per game. Only places without ground duels, they won an awful lot, but they've lost two of their primary duelists, Ait-Nouri and Cunha. A very average side, and that doesn't mean they're going to be poor, but they have been a very average side for an awful long side, and we'll see how it goes for them. Look, Wolves haven't had the best time in pre-season. I'll go to the Wolves results to show you. They've struggled a little bit. Where's from Wolves results? I didn't click Sunderland. There we go. Wolves results. Their preseason games haven't been great. They lost to Girona, they lost to Lens, they lost to Celta Vigo. Yeah, it's not to Santa Clara. They've drew with Stoke and Brentford. It's not been great for them, if we're being honest. They've had a pretty shocking side. Doesn't mean they haven't got quality. You have to take them seriously. They are, after all, Wolves. Strand Larsen is capable of spectacular goals, and they've still got Gomez in midfield who will snap your heels. And of course, you can't ignore the fact that we've got two former boys going back to their team, and it's a new season, as Dave was saying quite eloquently. This it's going to be a fitting, an emotional game, given the sad passing of Jota and his former club, and they'll have their own beautiful tribute, no doubt. It'll mean something to everyone in that stadium, particularly the Wolves fans and the players, and there'll be a lot of friends there of his there. So, look, I'm not saying that should affect the game tactically, but emotions play into football, and that's what we love about it. It's a game that means an awful lot to us, and we can't underestimate, is what I'm saying, how much it's going to mean to them as a team, So Wolves, look, they are a difficult side, and as Bessie said, flashbacks to Willy Bowley handballing in. Absolutely, we got to take him seriously, and away is never easy. Molineux is a tough stadium when it wants to be, and new season, you never know a team, even if they're poor in pre-season, until they get going. So in terms of my predictions, let's go to it anyway. Look, I'm still feeling reasonably confident. I trust Manchester City for this one. I think the football that we were playing against Palermo, even at Al Ahly in the first half, Juventus as well. I think we're going to get better. I think the City are going to come out with an awful lot of aggression. I think the squad looks good. It looks solid. I think we've got an awful lot of options. If we do play the team that I said there, look, it's something like this. Figures on the bench: Edison, Kusanov, Ake, Nico O'Reilly. Rico might be there, I don't know. But then you've got Gundogan as it currently stands. You've got Doku. You've got, who else? I'm blanking because I'm tired. But you've got a lot of quality there. Who else have I missed? There's loads of players, but I've forgotten loads of people. Savino, he won't be there. It's fair. We're down a few players, aren't we? Rodri, of course, would be on the bench as well. Mikasa might be there as well. But either way, I trust the quality of this Manchester City side. I'm actually going to go for a 3-1 win. I think they'll probably score, but I think Cherki's going to ball it. I think he's going to get an assist. Haaland's going to grab a brace, and I think we're going to see a Reijnders goal as well. I think Ait-Nouri is going to be fantastic. I think we're going to enjoy the football. There'll be some moments of rustiness. I think Trafford will make a few good saves. The goal will come from City, I think from a corner. I don't know. I think we'll give a silly ball away, something like that. I still think we'll win, and we'll see. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this preview. I will be live and a watch along tomorrow on the channel. For now, though, thank you for watching. Watch the season preview if you haven't already. Up the Blues, City are back. Come on, you Blues. Can't wait. Bye-bye. Like, subscribe in a bit.